let's go, let's go!
For the first 4 games of the season, Cameron Teague was redshirted. As one of the better players on the roster, head coach Giovanni Rigatoni wanted to save his talents for next year once Kareem Jackson graduated. But with Jackson now out for the season with a foot injury, Teague and Jackson swapped redshirt statuses on the final week of eligibility, and Teague will have no choice but to play right away against Tulane. But there's still something off with the Bologna State offense. Despite starting 3-1 and having solid success running the football, Coach Rigatoni knows the team has struggled early against the diamond front, which does well against the single back running game, and they've also had some challenges against the speed of a 4-2-5, specifically one with a strong interior defensive line. He knew he needed a better answer for this in the long run, but what could it be? For Coach Rigatoni, his answer was to start using a fullback. He scrapped the triple option running game from his playbook entirely and replaced it with 3 I-form formations instead. Close, slot, and wing. This would allow the team to have the flexibility it needed against fronts that typically do well into single back stuff. This also played more into Teague's strengths since he was more of a physical running back. With Teague and Bo Jackson splitting carries, Coach Rigatoni felt like this was the perfect final piece of the puzzle for his offense. This is the Rigatoni recipe. A college football dynasty played on Heisman difficulty from a former coach's perspective, using the worst team possible. Now, installing a brand new formation midweek is going to pose some challenges for the team, so he has to make sure to keep the plays similar to help the learning curve. We start with stretch because everything we do starts with the stretch play, and that's in all 3 formations. Of course, the team is going to run Power O, which is a classic counter off of the stretch. You have an inside lead dive, and again, this is available from all 3 formations. We take the counter run in case they overcommit to the play side, so we have a backside play. And we also have a weak side dive in case they overcommit, but we want something that's a little bit more of a quick hitter. From there, we have a play action series off of it with a rollout to the right side, or a mesh series that's off of it. We have a play action with a rollout to the left side so that we can capitalize on overcommits or weak side play. So the idea is to always make sure that we have everything that we need, similar to our single back game, to be able to put ourselves in the best offensive position to create a numbers mismatch wherever we feel like we need it. This one small change of including a fullback in the backfield does wonders for us in terms of creating good blocking angles on things that have given us trouble this season. This could be that one final piece of the puzzle to help push the Bologna State offense over the top for the remainder of the season. And if you want a cool series, check out what we did with our trips tight end. So check out the movement here. First, we can move across the field, and we've got just a basic inside zone, but there's even other plays that we have off of that. We can move across the field, and then the receiver parks, and we're running a flood concept, so we can hit the tight end on a flood route if he's open. Then we can move across the field and we can run an RPO game where we can hit peaks on a quick play, or we can run the inside dive. And yes, that was on Heisman. Then we can move across the field and stop and park up for a Z spot concept where we can hit the running back out of the backfield, or we can hit peaks on the curl route. Then we can motion across the field and look to stop and run a bench return pivot route. Is your head spinning yet? Then we can motion across the field and run play action and hit a corner route to the tight end. Then we can shuffle motion from the running back and look for a deep double post concept that's great against pattern match. Then we can shuffle the running back and run a tight end screen, which will completely catch the defense off guard. Then we can run the shuffle return motion and run a levels concept, which is also great against pattern match and man and a lot of zone coverages. Then we can run the shuffle return and run the shuffle swing pass, catching the running back out of the backfield. Then we can run the shuffle return and fake the screen pass and throw the wheel route to the slot receiver who gets open. Then we can run orbit motion and run play action out of this and roll out to the left side. And then when you think you've seen enough, we can run another orbit motion and there's another tight end screen off of that. And then we can run another orbit motion and there's a cross screen coming back to the running back on this side. This series is so good at bringing a defense to its knees because everything looks exactly the same. There are so many different plays that you have to keep up with from this series. And the beauty of this is all just the movement stuff. Imagine when we just leave it alone and we want to run a quick inside RPO game, or the defense is trying to get set, or we're going to run the smash concept and hit the corner route. It's just an amazing series, and There's so much we can do with this, but we haven't been able to play with it a lot because we don't have the receiver talent yet. Now, on the defensive side of the ball, I gotta admit, there's not a lot to get excited about this week because if you've seen our other videos, you've seen that these offenses look relatively similar. College football, is it getting that boring where everything is just shotgun and then a couple little single back plays? But basically, we want to defend the variety of shotgun ways that they'll try to attack us. They have a couple of things out of pistol that we want to be mindful of. They have one, tight I-form formation. They have this ace double wing formation, which isn't super crazy, but we are going to install this cover 2 invert from that cover 3 shell, and I think this could be an effective long-term play for us. I don't know if we're going to need it necessarily this week, but I think it's a good change-up, especially when we run a lot of cover 3. We're happy to just sit in the diamond front. Pretty typical with what we've done the last couple weeks. We feel like it's a very effective front against single back running games, and shotgun is a single back running game. There's a little bit of a giveaway on shotgun because you can kind of tell where the running back is going to go. They have a couple of these unbalanced formations as well, and I don't know if it's the right answer to just send the house, but that's what we're going to do because fuck it. On the recruiting side, pour one out for Koga Kong. He did not keep us in our top 3. RIP to him, but we're doing pretty good overall. I think we've got a couple of 4-stars that are interested. We're trying to push the tempo on a few more of those. Marquise Hennessy still very interested in our school. I don't really know why, if I'm being honest, but we're going to continue to push the pedal to the metal there. See if we can land this guy, because I do think in terms of a name, I can't think of a better future of the franchise than Marquise Hennessy. However, to think that he is going to start immediately for us is a little bit of a long shot, so we do kind of need another answer there that we need to think through. We lost another guy to Baylor. That's his loss because he doesn't want to win a national championship. Eric Cheeseman's still a high pick for us, and he's looking pretty solid. So we've got him pretty well figured out, and we're setting up recruiting visits for them. So overall, feeling okay about where recruiting is. We haven't landed a lot of guys yet, but that is typical for Coach Rigatoni. He tends to play the long game when it comes to recruiting. He wants to make sure he can spread his wealth and make sure we get as many players as we possibly can. When you're rebuilding a team, it's not about getting 1 or 2 guys. You got to get as much talent as you possibly can to commit to the school. So he's going to play the long game on that all day.
Welcome to Yulman Stadium in New Orleans, home to the Tulane Green Wave, and as this city likes to say, let the good times roll, and the Tulane fans are certainly ready for that.
They say luck is when opportunity meets preparation, and I can't think of a better scenario than us installing the I formation this week and playing in a torrential downpour in Tulane. Not only is Tulane not prepared for the offense they're about to see, but this plays perfectly into the hands of what we're trying to do, and their offense really as a spread game is not really conducive to a torrential downpour. So we'll see what Simonza is able to come up with here. 1st and 10, throws a little swing screen, able to get a couple yards. 2nd and 3, just barely gets enough to get the 1st down. They're running this double wing single back formation, but again, from the diamond front, we are feeling pretty confident. They actually lose their starting running back, so takes one to know one. I feel your pain, buddy. I get it. 3rd and 5, drops back to throw it. Easiest pick in the world, and we drop it? So I guess we're off the field. 1st and 10 for us. We're looking for an inside game, and they bottle it up pretty well. 2nd and 10, we do finally go to the I form. I actually thought we could have broke this, but the defensive lineman made a big play. And then 3rd and long, we go to the trips tight end and thought we could hit the wheel route down the field, and he's not able to make that catch. So a really quick 3 and out for Bologna State. We thought we were ready, but I guess not. 1st and 10 for them. They're trying to get their shotgun running game going, and again, our diamond front, we feel good. 2nd and 10, got it bottled up. They go to 3rd and 10. They want to run a mesh concept, just not going to get it. So quick 3 and out for them, and we're back on the field. 1st and 10, again, this is a dog fight. We got the rain going. We're trying to get the running game going. We're running power. We're running stretch. We got the Hulk formation. We get our 1st down. Just barely squeaking out yardage. But you can kind of tell based on the way that they were playing that they were kind of more ready for the single back stuff. So I thought it was interesting. I thought their coach did a good job coming out prepared, but they just weren't ready for the fullback. You can see here, 1st and 10, we're able to bust a big play. Then we go to the trips tight end formation, and again, just able to gash them for a couple of yards here and there and here and there. Wearing them down, wearing them out. You think we're going stretch the field, we run the weak side play. You think we're going single back, we're going full back. Their coaches on the sideline right now are scrambling a little bit like, what is this? We didn't see this on film at all. We've never seen them run this formation, and we've got to make sure we come up with an answer fast. 2nd and 5, that's one way for them to get a stop, is to just completely ragdoll my center. And then 3rd and goal, try to run the mesh concept. We get called for a hold. They decline the penalty, so we decide to go for it on 4th and 2. And again, they're just dominating on the inside. So tough to see it, but we felt based on the flow of the game, we felt okay that we could take a gamble there and force a long field. Because again, you can see them trying to establish a running game, and it's just not there at all. Force him into a 3rd and long situation, and he's lucky that was not a safety there, so they punt the ball back to us. A couple of times we came out in a passing play, but we just had to adjust it down to a run, which you see here, because they just made it so easy to run the ball. I'm not entirely sure what the defensive game plan was, because they were coming out in a lot of dime and quarter fronts. I think the defensive coordinator just assumed that because Kareem Jackson was injured, we were going to move away from the running game, but that's definitely not the case with Coach Rigatoni. You can see 1st and 10, we run to the trips tight end. 3rd and 2, we're looking for a rollout. Not there. David DePaul not going to force a throw. Perfect game manager. 1st and 10, looking for the rollout to Harrison. We just barely couldn't get it off. I think he would have scored there. 2nd and 10, looking for the outside pitch to catch the edge. Not there. Force a 3rd and long situation, which we really don't like. Comeback route, which I thought should have been caught, but it is what it is. So we're able to get a field goal. Not really ideal, but at least we get some points on the board. So 1st and 10 for Tulane. They're trying to look down the field with 4 verticals, but I just think the rain and trying to throw the ball, not a great idea. We shift to the tight ends. They shift back. We shift back. Tons of adjustments going on here. They try to send the guy in motion. We're going to bring some pressure. And again, I just felt like the diamond front made it so easy for our linebackers to move around. 3rd and 1, they tried to go with a QB sneak and just weren't able to get it. So again, Tulane is off the field with a really quick drive. 1st and 10, we come out throwing our boy Harris. You knew it was time. The freshman tight end, he's been amazing for us this season. 1st and 10, try to go with the stretch, and again, they just kind of bottled it up. 2nd and 12, we're going to run our trips tight end motion series. You think that it's going to be a flood play, but it's actually a halfback angle route. And then on 3rd and 1, we're going to run our motion series again. You think we're just going to run the same play, and we run a bench concept to the sideline. So I don't know what the hell is going on. 1st and 10, we try to go back to stretch, and again, they just had our single back running game pretty well bottled up. We make this adjustment again because I felt like they were giving us space in the running game, so we came down to an RPO play, inside run to Bo Jackson, get us across that goal line, 10-0 Bologna State. So 1:21 left to play in the first half. Got to make sure we get a stop defensively, prioritizing the passing game. They go with a quick play to the sideline. 2nd and 3, again, looking down the field, making sure we prioritize the passing game. He's got nothing really available, so he dumps it off to the flat for a 1st down. 1st and 10, looking for something down the field, and again, just dumps it off to the flat. I think we did a nice job defending the deep part of the field this game. 2nd and 8, again, forcing an underneath throw, so nothing really there. 3rd and 2, they run a zone read. They do catch the edge, which is a little bit unfortunate, but they run themselves out of timeouts. And then with 38 seconds left and no timeouts, they decide to run the ball, which hasn't been working all game, which I thought was kind of an interesting call. 2nd and 12, he tries to buy a little bit of time and just dumps it off to the running back. 3rd and 9, last play of the half.
On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. Looking for a huge play. Oh, he dropped it.
So it's 10-0 at the half. I feel like we're completely dominating this game, but it doesn't really indicate it on the scoreboard. So we need our offense to get a little separation in the second half. We go really heavy now. 2 tight ends, fullback, bloody your nose type of football. It looks like we're going stretch to the field. We run the inside zone to the weak side. Bo Jackson, inside trap play. Absolute money. He's already over 100 yards. Again, we go inside zone to Bo Jackson. 2nd and 7, we're going inside dive. Cameron Teague called the man up, red shirt status. 3rd and inches, Teague gonna bloody some noses, gonna try to pound the rock into the end zone. And then 1st and goal, Teague get us into the end zone. So just a running bonanza on that drive, 17-zip. Tulane's first drive in the second half, they said, hey, that running game looks pretty cool. We're going to try that. Get 5 yards on first down. They try to go back to the zone read, and Bologna State's just swallowing that up like it's a ham sandwich. We got absolutely nothing on that. My intuition was screaming at me on this play because for some reason, the first time all game, I adjusted my linebacker to a flat route, and they ran an RPO, so we got them off the field. Our next drive out, we go right back to the smash mouth. We got the fullback. We got tight ends. We got Teague downhill running. And just again and again and again in this rain. It hurts, man. It hurts when you feel them pads popping in the rain. We run the trips tight end. We got the swing route. We got Bo Jackson stays up on his feet, gets us closer and closer, and then it's Teague. Punches it in again. Bologna State is going nuts right now. And Tulane has just no answers defensively because they've never seen us run an I formation or trips tight end. So their first drive out, they go with a stick concept on first down, get a couple of yards. This was actually their best running play of the entire day, and I think he only got about 10 yards out of it. 1st and 10, looking for a play action. We're just down the field, letting them take the check down. It doesn't matter to us. They can have it anytime they want. And then 3rd and 9 again, trying to go down the field. We started Holland. He's able to make the play that Mills was not consistently making. We go back to our first drive, and again, it's just Teague. He's just punching him in the mouth every time he gets the ball. Bo Jackson again getting another chunk. It's Teague, power football. Tulane is giving up. You can see the will of this team is collapsing. And as every time, Teague, stiff arm, get off me. Then we run the counter play, and they're just getting buried. You can see their players getting thrown around like rag dolls. Inside ISO, Teague in the end zone. This man is a machine right now coming off the red shirt status. You want to talk next man up? Look at the Bologna State faithful in the pouring rain. What a cool shot. And watch Cameron Teague just bully this Tulane defense again and again and again, like they're bowling pins out here. This is the versatility we needed from this offense, and it really came down to the fullback and Cameron Teague. This wouldn't have happened without him. 1st and 10, their next drive out, they're just scratching and clawing for anything, and at this point, we're trying to preserve a shutout here, so we're going to do everything we can in our power. They're trying to run option. I mean, it's just not there. 3rd and 8. Looking down the field, seeing if he can get anything. For the first time all game, we took the underneath pattern and we shouldn't have, so we got beat over the top, which was unfortunate. Again, 1st and 10 for them. They throw underneath. We try to make the stop. He breaks a tackle. 2nd and 4. He's able to get a first down, so a little bit frustrating there. 1st and 10, this one was really tough because our best player is supposed to make that angle, and he just got caught up by the receiver, so if there's ever a way for us to lose the shutout, that was it. But there's really nothing else to see here, folks. Bologna State with a 31-7 dominating performance in the pouring rain. And who else to win player of the game but Cameron Teague? Comes off the redshirt status, immediately replaces Kareem Jackson, who is the best player on the roster, and does nothing but run for over 100 yards and 3 touchdowns in a torrential downpour as the offense completely reinvents itself. Football is adapt or die. You got to tip your hat to Coach Rigatoni for this game plan. Tulane had no answers at all in terms of the adjustments. So I'm excited to see where the offense goes from here. Defensively, I think we still have a couple wrinkles up our sleeve, and there's still a lot more that we can do offensively. So this playbook is far from installed on both sides of the field, and it's important as an offense to continue to reinvent yourself, right? Teams will adjust and adapt to you. So as long as you're always staying ahead of the punches and doing what you need to do to continue to stay dynamic, makes it really hard for a defense to keep up. But one thing that we do have to be mindful of is our passing game is a little bit non-existent. I think that was because of the rain, so it was by design based on the game plan, but we got to get them involved. Till next time, thank you for your support. You all have been amazing. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.